Happy Hot Sunday, everybody. I'm actually very, very pleased to be in the last weekend of August, and we just had a fire scare here. They put it out. We still have hot spots, but I just want to say thank you, firefighters, for doing your job and being the first responders to help save our home. The wind was directly blowing our direction in which the fire started, so I'm just pleased to share that with you. With that in mind, I'm not going to do any cooking inside today because it is over 100 degrees here in Southern California, but I do want to take you outside with a recipe I kind of borrowed from Food Network. I follow them on Instagram, and it's a great way to find recipes, but I altered it a little bit. What they did was they took this double cream brie cheese. If you've never had brie, if you love cheese, you're going to love this cheese. And basically, they filled it with fruit. Now, they did a grilled pineapple, so my spin on it is going to be grilled peach, because this is in season right now, and not everyone in my family enjoys pineapple. So first things first, I have the grill on. I just wanted to let you know there's 3 simple ingredients that are happening. The last ingredient is going to be sliced prosciutto, which is basically a cured pork belly out of Italy. So you're going to use the whole package. But before I get into wrapping this and getting the cheese undone and all that, we got to grill our peaches. So since the brie is that big, I'm going to double stack the peaches and probably cut them to size once they get out of the grill. You just want to lightly oil them. And as always, our grill is hot and waiting for us, so I'm not waiting on it to heat up. It's already ready. I'm not going to add any salt or anything. The cheese has plenty of salt content, as does the prosciutto. So, real quick. And it's really, we're just looking for a simple char. I'm not trying to cook this guy down to a pulp, right? It's not a steak or a burger. So my not so fancy food grill here, we're gonna let that rip for a minute. You can tell this thing's been used. Probably time to scrub it off. All right, I don't mind that though. I feel like it kind of gives it a little bit more of a cured flavor. It takes for that to cook. So my lovely videographer just wanted me to let you guys know how long it should take for that to cook. I don't have a time in my head. I just go back and check it. All you're looking is for grill marks. Just a little bit of char. We're going to let it char on one side, flip it. It might take a minute or two, but I'll go back and check it and show you. If you go a little bit over, fine, but you do want that char. So, like I said, we'll just go back and check it out. So, brie, product of France. This one is from Minneapolis. Thank you, Minneapolis. So, I freaking love this cheese. So you're going to slice it directly down the middle. You want to keep it refrigerated right up until that moment because you want it nice and firm so it's easier to cut. And then, if you were a part of my last installment, which I know had 3 different episodes for the same recipe that I was making, I concede to say that I watched Dude, Where's My Car recently, and that was a movie I watched back when it first came out. But nonetheless, I always find myself saying, and then? And then? No, and then. No, and then. So if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. So now we're just doing simple prep. I'm going to put the cheese off to the side for a second. Now I want to thank again the Food Network for giving me the idea for this recipe. I don't know that I would have thought to wrap it in prosciutto because normally I'd wrap it in a puff pastry and bake it. So they call that baked brie. Not a big deal, right? So the prosciutto, individually wrapped in these wax sheets so that they don't stick together so badly. Try to make fast work of that. So anyway, you're basically going to make like a fan circle. And you'll see what, if you're a foodie, you probably already know where I'm going with this. So, as I said,
it smells so good.
Oh, you'll get a piece. Don't worry. Just want to make sure I have enough to do what I'm doing here. So the overlapping is pretty minimal. More the spacing is just so you don't have any gaps between them. And before I finish this, we'll probably go check on the peaches. But this is how quickly this comes together. So, what we put the peaches on maybe a minute and a half ago. Something like that, maybe 2 minutes. So let me go flip that real quick. Or my lovely assistant here is going to flip the peaches for me. Or no? Let's go. Let's do it together.
I just want to turn the light on so that it will warm up the kitchen.
I don't need a ton of char on there. I would like a little bit more though. But you see how it's starting to get that char on there? It's going to caramelize and that's going to bring out some of the sweetness. So we're going to leave that for another minute, finish our prosciutto. So this would be something great if you were invited to a party, especially if there's wine involved or something. Like brie and wine go together beautifully. The idea of peach would go great with like a white, maybe a Sauvignon Blanc or like a Pinot Grigio, something like that. If you were to be hosting or, like I said, being invited somewhere and you were asked to bring something, or you're like me and you bring something regardless.
No matter what.
I just want to space this out. Sorry, there's not a bunch left for you, man. There's a tiny piece. Don't worry, we're going to eat the finishing product, though. So you got to eat it anyway, okay? All right. So as I'm sweating, I don't have balls, but if I did, they'd be sweating. So there's my brie with the prosciutto. So when the peaches come out, we're just going to kind of place them on top of the cheese. And I'm going to go ahead and grab them because guess what's going to happen? I'm going to wrap this entire thing and put the whole thing back on the grill so that the cheese gets melty, and when you cut into it, it's going to ooze out and just be absolutely magnificent. Trusty sight. No, I really got to clean that thing. Okay, I'm good enough with the char on that for now. Like I said, we're not trying to soften the fruit. We're just trying to give it a little bit of caramelization on there. Yep. My boyfriend just requested that I use the smoker next time. He's like, I used to love when you used to smoke fruit. I'm like, yeah. Oh, I just turned off the grill. I still need the damn grill. Nobody's perfect, everybody. Hey, B, will you grill for me? Just get it lit again. Really, it's like 115 degrees here today, so my brain might be a little foggy. Anyway, so I'm just cutting the peach down to size to the brie. And then, can you see that? Made my videographer slash sidekick go start the grill back up. So now, we're just going to kind of pretend this is a little present and wrap it all up. Can you see my sweat? Like, for real. It's time to get in the tub, I think. We don't have a swimming pool. We have like an old porcelain tub that used to be a horse trough that we cleaned out really well with Epsom salt. And no, we can't swim, but we sit and soak, and it certainly takes the heat off. So anyway, there is our brie wrapped peach dish. This goes back on the grill just long enough to kind of crisp up the prosciutto. Now in the Food Network version, they use both sides. My family's not like the biggest cheese eaters. They're not like lactose intolerant or anything, but I figure the ratio of the meat to the fruit to the cheese is plenty. So this will be for me at a later point in which I'll make, I don't know, something or just eat it like that. But for now, this guy's gonna go back on the grill. And see, I got it. We good? We're gonna clean it off real quick.
Fix the burner.
Thank you. So here again, you only have 3 ingredients: the brie, the prosciutto, and the peaches. We're gonna let that cook until the prosciutto gets crispy. I'll plate it. We'll cut into it. All the melty, easy goodness of warm brie is gonna pour out of there, and you're gonna want to really eat that once you see what's going on with it. Till then. We back? All right. So prosciutto's already cooked. All we're doing is putting a crisp on it, making a crust out of it. Like I said, in lieu of using like a puff pastry or something like that, we're going to use meat. Who doesn't like that? So it's just going to be another moment or so for the other side to crisp up. And thank you to my lovely assistants here for cleaning the grill and making the temperature much more even for me. Thank you. Get a quick shot of my lovely, sexy man over there. So I'm going to give it like another, I don't know, minute and a half, 2 minutes. Like I said, that residual heat is just going to help that cheese get all melty on the inside when you cut into it. So good. So lastly, like you've seen before, I have my beautiful fancy plate, right? I like it just because I do enjoy the presentation of things, even if it's super simple. So instead of me having to carry that thing in on a spatula, I'm going to have the plate waiting for me outside. And I suppose while we wait, we can take a beautiful shot of the fire flowers that are growing. Look at these guys. They also are known as coxcomb fire flower, right? And actually, the leaves are edible, which is cool.
Show them no one that's over there.
See what?
Let's show them no one that's over there.
Oh, this guy?
Nope.
No. Oh, the one flashing gang signs. So is he hitchhiking? Or is he flashing like Wu-Tang Clan stuff? I'm not sure. And this thing, our wind blows that way. So the fact that it bent that way is kind of a trip. Last year we had one that was as big as a head of cauliflower. Literally, I put sunglasses on it and gave it a name and a face and everything. It was pretty cool. But this year, this one, I don't know. I think he's hitchhiking to get out of California. He's like, I'm over it.
Drop a comment if this look like gang symbols or just hitchhiking.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Now, I'm going to say that our prosciutto is probably crispy on this side. It will not take long because A, it's super thin, and B, like I said, it's already a cooked meat product, so we're going to let it rest just for a second. So when we cut into it, it doesn't necessarily ooze out everywhere. You just want a little bit of ooze. This is one of the times where ooze is actually a good thing. Normally that word is kind of gross, but... Back to where the magic all happens. So as that rests, it's pretty hot, actually. I'm going to go ahead and cut into it so you can see exactly what you're looking for. Now, real quick, I want to shout out to Kaylee Cortez, which is Nuda Music. If you're not a fan of her yet, you should be, because she does her own creational industrial style music. She's on YouTube, she's on Instagram, she's on Facebook, Nuda, Nuda. She's my old guitarist from a band we were in many moons ago. Now she lives in Washington State, and she enjoys her wine. And when I found this recipe, I thought of her immediately. And I know she's a pretty savvy cook, but this is something pretty simple she could do and enjoy a glass of wine with her boyfriend. So she said, make a video. Oh, do you see that? Come on. Now, you can eat it just as so. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
That looks good.
I know, and I have to eat some.
Of course you do.
Mm-hmm. It's freaking stupid. So you get the creaminess from the cheese, the saltiness from the prosciutto, the sweet from the caramelized peach, and the flavors just meld. It's kind of magical. This is the first time I've ever made it, but it makes total sense. It really couldn't be easier. Hey, can you get in there with a close shot of the cheese and the peach? Again, if you wanted to serve this for other people or just devour it yourself, it probably would go nicely with some fancy crackers, maybe some pita chips, something like that, if you wanted to add a crispy texture. Or you could do a charcuterie board and put some nuts over here. And anyway, it's absolutely fabulous. Super simple. I'm going to shut off now because I'm going to go take a dip. I can't stop sweating. Again, thank you, firefighters, for taking care of us and saving our home. Really much love. Like, totally appreciate it.